Hey tribe, welcome back if you're already a subscriber, and if you're just stopping by for the first time, thank you for checking my video out so you can see what the therapy of planning is all about. Okay, so today kind of doing a chat, just getting ready to start the week. It is actually Monday morning, and as I come into the planner studio to write in my prayer journal, I just wanted to have a quick chat to talk about where I'm at with my lineup, because already we are getting prepared for 2024, right? Last night I just placed an order with Jane's Agenda for my half letter inserts, and I have to go to Cloth and Paper too and see what I'm getting from there, because I do have a mixture of those things in my half letter. And so that just brings you forward into thoughts of how is next year going to look. I have went into the standard of the commonplace, which I cut it down myself, and I ordered a standard. So I already placed an order, of course, a pre-order with Sterling Ink. So yes, we are well on our way to getting ready for 2024, and there is a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of stuff out there, and everything to us people who love stationery, planners, the papers, the pens, the washi, the stickers, we're like overwhelmed. It's easy to fall down the rabbit hole because there's just such beautiful things and we want to use them all. I want to use them all. But you just can't. You can't use them all. You can't use a planner just because you like it and try to find something to use it for, because then you're just going to end up getting frustrated for the most part. I think that we have to identify what our needs are, as I've seen many of a planner girl tell us, identify your needs. What do you need to use your planner for? And then you have to find where it works best. What planner or what system best helps meet those needs. And once you find it, you may shift and change, trying to see which thing works better, or you may think something works great and then as you start to use it, it's not as good, so you may tweak it. But basically your needs are what you're trying to meet, and your needs may change as well, right? So over time you may suddenly go from just needing one planner for work to realizing that maybe you want something personal that's separate, or maybe you want to put a section in for personal things, or you may realize that you don't want to keep everything in one book, because a lot of people do keep everything in one book. Maybe you want to have a separate prayer journal, or maybe like me, you have a new business and so you want to have a separate book for your business. So as we go along, we're going to have to tweak and refine. But one thing I know is you kind of start to know what you like to work with as far as size and bound, not bound, rings, this. You kind of get to a point where you're like, yeah, this is kind of my jam. Like, you may start in the bound book and move to this, and you may move around a little bit, but then finally you kind of settle in. So like me, for my standard size, I came back because I started out, of course, with this bound and went into the Happy Planner. I went to half letter, and then I came out of half letter and did some other things. One of them being a TN, which I loved, but then I came out of that to try other things. But when I came down to it, I went back. I found myself back in the half letter, back in the standard size. I did find a use for the Hobonichi because I do love the Hobonichi, and I feel very comfortable right there. There's still things I want to tweak, some of which we'll talk about today, but for the most part I know like the size range, and I know the type of paper, you know, I know pretty much where I want to stay at. So I might change like inserts, or I may change paper, like I'm going to tell you about my prayer journal, changing from the Hobonichi to a different type of notebook, but it's still a A5 bound book. So you kind of get to know what you like. And it doesn't mean even then, from there, that you may change or experiment. But I know that going into 2024, for myself, I am going in intentionally selecting what I'm going to use. I'm no longer going to be trying things out. Like jumping around, trying things out. There may be some new things that I bring in that you may say that's trying it out, because if it doesn't work, of course I'll change it, but I'm not looking for, you know, I'm not kind of floundering. I kind of know this is this place that I'm going to be in. And so this year it's not going to be buying a whole bunch of different things. Like I know I have at least 2 planners that I've bought for 2023 that I did not use. One that I didn't even touch. One I use on and off and still love it, but it didn't fit into what I needed. So let me just kind of flip through and review where we're at for this week. First, the half letter, the big chunky one of them all. I didn't really have to do much to this this week. I didn't have to change the monthly. I didn't change my cover. We eagerly anticipating the September cover, so I just left this here. I think I probably need to pull a few pages out, because it feels like it's getting, it might be that I put this in here. It's a little bit tighter than normal. It might be because I put that in there. But yeah, I really don't have anything to do to it except to go to the new week by just putting this paper on the other side of the inbox. So that we're here. Today's the 21st. I did kind of, this is an oddity. I used this because the little tab here, September, didn't fit on here. So I don't know. That's so pronounced compared to the other months that I may just put like an S on here for September. I don't know. I'll fiddle around with that. But other than that, I didn't really have anything to do for this month. I think last time I recorded, I did show that I did change the months around so that the current month is at the front. Okay, and then as the month ends, I'll put it to the back. That's about it. Nothing else really that I need to do in here. Okay, so that's that for work. I think I'm going to take that clip out because I don't really need it, and I think that's putting just a little bit of pressure on the clasp, but I don't want to damage. Yeah, that feels better. Okay, so that's work. And then we have the standard for personal. And I don't really have anything like a bunch of different travelers inserts in here. I do have some folder. I have this one folder to keep whatever loose, you know, if I ever have receipts or something. And I do have this notepad in case I need to tear paper off. I have this a craft folder that I decorated that does have some stuff in it. It's not even really needed. I kind of threw stuff in here when I realized that I was going to be using the standard size again. And so I do have an extra blank notebook, which I haven't really been using, but it is there just in case. I don't know. I haven't really identified a specific need for it. And you may know that if you've been here before, that I cut down my A5 commonplace planner to use as a Stalogy, because to use as a standard size, because I did order the standard size, and then I got so excited I couldn't wait. I had this undated A5 common planner from the first time we were able to pre-order last year, and I was going to use it in my prayer journal once I finished with the first Avec from Hobonichi, and then I would still have the second half of the year. So I decided that to go ahead and just use the second half of the year in my prayer journal, and then that would give me having the common planner extra. So I cut it down to standard size. Just as you've seen, some planners cut their Hobonichi Cousin or Hobonichi Avec down to standard size. I had done that before and found that I really liked it, and so I went ahead and did it with the common planner just to get started and see if I really was going to be happy with it, and I really am. Okay, just a quick look at this week's setup, and this was last week. Okay, so I'm able to just stack Saturday and Sunday, and that is working well for me. I don't always have a lot of appointments, so I'm able to put some nice decoration and just a few things that I have. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I have a bunch of different timed things going on, and so it's great to have that. I have set up for this week. Summer is soon going to be coming to an end, so I'm trying to get that last of the summer vibes in there. My to-do, and then just a day per page is how I set it up, except for the weekend where I did half a day or half a page per day, because I use these pages really to write down the things that happened during the day, what things I did get done, what in different conversations or emails or things that I had occurred this day that were important that I want to make note of. And so on the weekend I have less of that, so doing a half a page works out. And so that is the standard size common planner that I created until I get my one for 2024. Okay, so, and that's just the Moterm cover that it's in. I do want to order a different Moterm cover for next year. I want to get the smooth leather. I forget what they call it, but yeah, I do want to do that. I have this one in the pepper leather, and I also have an olive one in the pepper leather. But I would like to get another one because I really, of course, would love to get a Vanderspec, but I am really cutting back. If you saw my last video, I talked a little bit about low buy. I'm not going to ever say no buy, because I think that would be a little silly of me to try to say that, because it's just not going to happen for me. But I'm buying with intention this year. I know, like I said, what works for me, what I like. I'm not going to be trying as much, really, because there's some new things, a couple of new things that I'll be doing or putting in different places. Same needs, but putting in different places. So that might be looked at as trying something, but I'm not like wondering, well, what do I need? Maybe let me do this, maybe let me do that. I'm just really at the tweaking stage. Really happy with the half letter. It's not going anywhere. Excited for the commonplace standard size to come. I'm thinking I'm going to be going through the year in the same planner for personal planning and note-taking. So I'm excited about that. And then we have, of course, the prayer journal. And I was so thrilled to find a way, as I've said many times before, to use my Hobonichi, because I really love the Hobonichi. But it was like a lot for work planning or personal planning, and I really don't like to put the two together. So it just was a lot having weekly and a full size daily page, and that hence the cut down, the standard size, because really that's all you're doing is reducing the pages in half, pretty much for standard, or maybe less than half. I'm sorry, more than half, but you're taking a little bit off. Pretty much, you take off this much, this row of Sunday, maybe a little drop of Saturday to get to the standard size. So it cuts down the space for the daily, and it cuts down, like when I'm looking at my weekly, I don't feel so overwhelmed to like fill it completely, because I have just a little bit less. I have just enough to note the different things that I might have at certain specific times, and so that works out for me. So for the prayer journal, however, I was able to make it work by using the monthly to write down the verse that I read that day, and then to use the weekly to write down that verse. And this is what this week looks like. And then I use the daily just to write out my prayers, my thoughts on the verse maybe that I read, or just anything else that I want to share. I did, sometimes I miss, and so I will go in and write down, like this prayer I wrote down was from U-verse. It's kind of messed up because what happened was I wrote the prayer originally on this side. Then I was like, I wanted to put this across from it, so I erased it with my Friction pen. And when I looked, oh, half of this was erased, and some of it pressed into here. So I had to kind of go over it. Now it looks a little messy, but I might be able to fix that up, because now, since there's nothing on this side of the page, I might, and since I know that now, I can put my pencil board here, maybe, and maybe I'll erase this and rewrite it, because it is kind of hard to read. But other than that, that's how I use it. Now, I think in one of my previous videos, I was talking about making a change here, and I really didn't go too far into what I meant by that. And so I do want to just talk about that for a second. And I put this together because I just wanted to see how it would feel as far as switching to this for my prayer journal. Okay, so I did order the Common Planner A5 that I thought I was going to use instead of using the Hobonichi, because let's face it, all that writing on the bottom in the Hobonichi really leaves a little something to be desired when you just want to write down the page. So I thought, okay, great, I'm going to get the A5 Common Planner, and I'll set up my weeklies the same way, which is, as you see, to either go vertical or maybe I guess I should say horizontal. Well, you know what I mean. To go that way, or to go horizontal. Yeah, so this will be vertically. You know, and every time I'm setting it up, I'm having to, you know, cover the dates, and I redate it. And I usually write out these lines. You can't really see it really well, which is the point, that you can't, once you write on it, you can't really see it that much. And I don't mind doing it, but it would be a lot easier to do in just a plain Stalogy, right? So I can easily make a horizontal spread here without having to do a whole lot of writing out. Somehow we got our Stalogies upside down. Oh, I know why. Because I just wanted to look at blank pages. I've used a few of these pages in the front. Another time that I was using it for my personal journal, and so I just wanted to look and see what it would look like to use this instead. I can do the 8 boxes like I've done in the Hobonichi. In my weekly, I have done the 8 boxes. And I've done, like you're saying, the vertical. So I can do all that so much easier on this blank slate. And then also, I would do the weekly, and then I would do my dailies behind it. And so if I don't preset them up, if I just, write the date as I go through the week, if I do miss a day, or say I'm traveling and if I'm flying, I'm not going to bring this with me because I'm already going to bring my personal planner, and it gets to be too much. So I don't want to lose it. I don't want the weight of it. So I won't bring it with me. I'll probably I'll insert a TN in here, and I'll write my prayers in that. So that way, here I won't have a blank page that I missed because I didn't, like this day, I didn't do anything. I didn't write in it. So, and most likely I was not home. That's why that happened. Or I had a change in my schedule because usually I have plenty of time in the morning because I work later in the day, but sometimes if I'm training a class, I have to work earlier, and so that just kind of throws me off, and I don't get in it the same way that I would on my regular schedule. So if I miss a day, it won't matter because I won't have already set the day up. So it'll be my weekly spread, and then it would be a day per page unless I miss a day. Or even if I don't want to, I don't fill up a whole page, I can just start, I could start here for the day, or, just like the typical bullet journaling style of just starting each day, writing what you got to write, and then go into the next day wherever on the page you are. So I'm going to shift to that, and then I have the Kikuyo monthly in the front, which I was using with my with the Stalogy for my personal planner until I switched into the standard size. So now I have this that I won't finish for this year, but I will order a new one for 2024, and this will be where I write the verse that I'm going to be writing out that day, and then I will write the verse here and write my my thoughts or my prayers for that day behind the week. And then I'll have these pages in the back of the monthly that I can use for, I guess we can call them power sheets. Kenya makes power sheets, and I love that idea, and I have a few that I have made when I was attempting to use a big happy planner for my prayer journal. So now I can bring them into A5 size, and it kind of looks like what I did well here for the monthly overview, or the sheet that I just showed you here. If I just have a certain verse or something specific that I want to write, that I want to keep to go back to, I can put it in here, and there's a good amount of pages here that should get me through the year doing that. So that would be a transition for my prayer journal, which kind of leaves my A5 common planner that I ordered free. And I think that is going to move into my business notebook, and I will show you that at another time. But I just wanted to be more clear about the transition for my prayer journal. Lastly, the only thing that I didn't get ready for this week was my journal, which is housed in this A5 Stalogy that I was originally using in the beginning of the year for my personal journal. There's the Go Wild. And I decided to go to the standard size because I did end up having a lot of space sometimes not, and sometimes I just had a lot of blank space, which doesn't really bother me terribly, but I figured that maybe that's just really an indicator of it that I could adjust. I do love just decorating the pages, and that's why it is really ideal for a personal journal, to just go ahead and decorate my pages however I want, and go ahead and use this to write in. So I'm doing that. It's kind of messy here, guys. Sorry, I was fiddling around with it and I didn't get it quite set up. I took this Take a Note and I started using it for my wellness journal, which I just record my sleep, what I ate, and how I'm physically feeling in here. And I was able to just split this each day into 3 blocks, and it reminds me something of what I was doing in a standard prior, I guess last year I was doing this, and I was doing this in, not a standard, I'm sorry, in my Stalogy. I was doing this, splitting the days, and then I was doing my journaling behind it. But I realized I really want my wellness journal to be separate from my journaling, just in case I ever want to maybe take this out to, maybe I'm going to a doctor's appointment and I want to, you know, hey, on this day I had this pain, on this day I had this whatever, this day, you know, I don't want my journaling to be in there with it. So I have it in this separate book. I kind of, you know, this doesn't kind of sit the way I really want in here. It closes the way I like it when it's closed. It's fine, it's chunky, but it fits. But when you open it, it's a little bit messy, a little maybe hard to write. These are some new stickers that I got from Graceful Muse Papery. Hadn't heard of it, but I follow Becky. Whoops, I did it again. And she was showing these, and you know, that's why I try my best not to watch hauls, even though you know, I love maybe the content creator, but it's really hard. If I watch it and they show me something I like, I'm like, it's really hard. But I'm getting better. There's some times that I'm like, oh, that's nice, but I'm not gonna get it. This is a new company to me, so I went ahead and ordered, and I do love the stickers. I'm happy with them, and I'm gonna be using them shortly. But yeah, I do want to kind of make an adjustment here. So I'm not really sure. I ordered from Jane's Agenda these wellness disc-bound inserts, and the ones I ordered are half letter. When I saw these, I fell in love with them, and they didn't have any half letter at the time, so I ordered the classic size. I have so many classic covers and happy planners that I can set it up in something, so I put it in here. And one thing that I found that I do like is I can take these with me when I travel, so I don't have to take the whole book. I can just take out the page, take the page of the week that I'm going, and I can slide it into something flat that I'm taking with me. Like last time I went away, I took a large, hold on a second, bear with me. I took this moleskin, and I kind of did some her journaling in here, but I can easily slide this into my suitcase, and if I take these pages out, they fit right in here, and that I can use when I travel. So I kind of liked that. It has a pocket back here. You can put stickers if you want, to make it more portable. But I think that what's going to happen when I travel is I will use these in the half letter size, and I might still carry this for journaling, and then I will have my TN, my standard TN with me, so I'll put an insert in here, or maybe just the insert that's already in here that I haven't used yet, I can use that for my prayer journaling, so that I'll just have this with me, and I'll have this that I can slide into my suitcase, and I won't have, I just can't carry all my planners and journals when I'm flying. When I'm driving, I can kind of do what I want. Even then, I don't want to take everything with me. So that is one area that I'm working to refine, how I'm going to travel and still maintain my journaling and my planning. Sometimes, like, I'm away on a weekend, and so that's when I would usually plan for the following week. So I also want to get to the point where I'm a little ahead, where I have my setup a few weeks out, and when I'm here working, I might not be working necessarily on the current week, just in that, knowledge that sometimes I'll be away, or sometimes I won't just be home during the day, on the weekend, that I might have an event or something to do. So I have to find a way to still have my planner, my journal set up, despite not having that time. So I want to, like I said, try to get a little ahead with my setup. And so, like I said, this is a journey. As we go along, we will tweak things, and yes, we may change things, but I really feel, for me, for 2024, that I can go in being very intentional, even as far as washi tape and stickers and markers and things that I use. I pretty much know the things that I really like, and I don't have to be just snatching something up because of FOMO, and because I think it's great, and then I have it and I don't use it. I don't mind sometimes if I find something that's not working for me, changing it, but as you get to know what really benefits you, what works the best, then there's less of those incidents of you buying things that don't work. So I'm really excited to go into 2024 really knowing what I'm using for each category, and only having a few things to tweak, mostly travel and the, that means it's time to finish, to finish up. But yeah, mostly for traveling, and mostly, I think, just how I keep my journal, my wellness journal, and my personal journal, like I have them in one book. Kind of like the way it feels when it's closed, but when I open it and I'm writing in it, not so much. So that's like just a little something to be tweaked. But I know that I want to journal in my Stalogy. I know that I want to keep my wellness journal in the take a note. I love how my half letter is working for work, and I'm really excited to be using the standard size for personal, and I'm so looking forward to getting my common book standard for 2024. And I know that I really like these inserts for traveling because I could just take the few pages out. So there's certain things that I'm settled on, and I, like I said, had placed my order for my half letter inserts. So I know that when taking notes, 2024 planners come out, I'm going to get that. And with that, I'm pretty much done. Like, yeah, I'd love to get a cover for myself, maybe for my birthday or Christmas, I think I was looking at the smooth leather from Moterm. Like I said, I would love to be Vanderspec, but unless I get a financial blessing from somewhere, I think that I'm going to go with the Moterm because they are beautiful as well, and I can keep my spending down because these past few years I have spent a lot on planner supplies and planners, and so I am going to go into 2024 being intentional and picking just the specific things that I really, really know that I'm going to use it. I don't have something kind of similar or close. And sometimes pass by stuff that I might really, really like, because I have so much stuff that you can't just keep adding and adding and adding. When are you going to be able to use it all? So I'm just going to really delight, and I have been lately really delighting in using my stash. Even just as I organize and put things away, I've come across things that I forgot that I had. So really excited to be enjoying what I have and to go into 2024 knowing what I want to use. What about you? What are your plans for 2024? Have you figured it out yet? Are you still working on it? Are you really good with where you are? Or do you feel like you need a whole new revamp? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, as long-winded as it may have been, then please give me a like, click on that subscribe button so that you can continue going on this journey with me, because we want to keep planning, keep trying to work it out, keep journaling, putting things down on paper, getting it out of our head, and de-stressing, because this, my friends, is a therapy. Planning and journaling are therapeutic, and this is a therapy of planning. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Bye, tribe.